Hello everyone and welcome. I'm going to move this camera up a little bit because I forgot that Splunky is going to use a little bit different screen region for that. Hello! It's been a while since I've recorded. I also have a new headset because I got it for Christmas and it's actually quite nice after I finally figured out how to use it. Regardless, we are going to be talking a little bit today about the schedule stuff that I talked about a couple weeks ago, the week before Christmas. And we're also going to be talking about just in general how things are going moving forward. So I figured what could we play that would take up a little bit of time as well as allow me to talk? Why not Spelunky and why not the daily challenge? It's been a while since I've played Spelunky. I'm probably going to do terribly, but you know what? It's worth it. So if you watched the videos a couple weeks ago, you probably saw that I talked about I got a new position that I got transferred to at work, and its hours are much different from what I was used. Whoops. Its hours are much different than what I was previously used to. Sorry, I'm just kind of concentrating here a bit. One more rope. Better be worth it. 3 ropes. Not worth it at all. I mean, technically it was a bomb for a rope, which I don't know if that's really a trade I would like to make, but... Anyway, so the schedule as described to me was that I would start at 5:30 in the morning, and then work 8 hours, and then be done. Same kind of schedules I had in my old position, just, you know, working first shift instead of second shift. So, you know, I was kind of prepared to deal with that. It was certainly, you know, a big change. But it was also, you know, still similar hours and everything, and that was fine by me. What it turns out to be, well, first of all, they changed the start time to 6, which isn't a big difference. 5:30 to 6 is no big deal. But, more importantly, is the fact that it's not actually an 8-hour day. It is a start and then until completion day. So what that means is that if I come in and there's a lot of stuff to get done, I can be there for 12, 13 hours. I don't think I've been there that long yet, but it's an example of how much it can be. And, you know, if there's not much going on, I could potentially get out of there early. That has not happened either so far. The earliest I've gotten out of there so far is about 2:30, which obviously is not quite, you know, super early. Oh yeah, we'll rob this man. So yeah, it's not really, you know, all that early. That's still an 8-hour day. But I think the biggest thing here is that it's kind of, you know, it's confusing to determine when I'm going to be able to record. Because during the week, if I get home early enough, I like to get some sleep before dinner. Otherwise, I don't tend to get very much sleep. And if it's after, you know, a certain point, then I don't really have time before dinner to record. So during the week, recording is going to be a hard-pressed thing, really. A hard-pressed thing to pull off, if it's at all possible. You know, today is during the weekday and I am recording, so it's certainly going to be possible at times, I just don't know how often. However, as you probably noticed, I haven't had very much content up the past couple weeks. This is because with the holidays, I actually had one weekend day off. I was starting at... Excuse me while I focus here for a moment. I was starting at where I was working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we had Thursday off for Christmas and then New Year's the week after. And then because of that day off, we had to work Saturday. So I only had one weekend day. And those are going to be where I can get the most recording time. Now, this past weekend I did have both days off, but quite frankly, AGDQ was going on, and I was a bit lackadaisical because it is really fun to watch that. And I had to miss out on a whole lot of it due to work. So to be able to catch a good deal during the weekend was a nice little, you know, way to relax, way to wind down. And enjoy the end of the marathon. So starting this weekend, I will be putting, you know, concentrated effort on making sure that I record, you know, a full week's worth of content as much as possible. Again, I'm not entirely sure that it will be possible, given how tired I might end up being, or given the different variations of what might be going on at the given time. Oh, I'm sorry, doggy. I'm sorry, I did not think that through. You know, given those things, I may not have a chance to record a full week's worth of episodes. If that's the case, you know, I will record as much as possible, but I just can't guarantee that it'll be a full week. You know, until the schedule is different, I don't know exactly how much content I'm going to be able to keep up with, but my goal is to get back to what I was doing before, and I think it's possible. I really do think it is. It's all going to depend, though, on how tired I get, as well as how much, you know, how many busy days we have versus how many slower days. All that kind of stuff is going to come into play, and it's going to be very hard to judge on anything beyond a week-to-week basis. In some cases, even a day-to-day basis. But again, if we're talking recording on the weekends, then obviously, you know, we're talking on the weeks of the weekend, and on a weekly basis for the weekends. Even if the work throughout the week is what really faces it, it's going to come down to how I feel on the weekend, if that is how I choose to do things. Oh, don't tell me I can't get out of here without a rope. I should be able to do this, right? And I could bomb for the Matic, but I think I need to use a rope. Oh, come on. So yeah, you know, I'm not entirely sure on a week-to-week basis what I'll be able to put up, but I can say that I am going to be putting a consistent effort into getting as much content out as I can. I would like to start up something other than Isaac, not because I'm any less playing Isaac, but because it's a game that I know extraordinarily well, and I don't know, you know, with how many content creators are putting out Isaac videos on a day-to-day basis, is there really any reason for people to come, you know, watch me instead of the various people who are much better at what they do than I am, when I'm playing the exact same game as everyone? I don't know about that. Plus, people might be getting tired of Rebirth coverage, you know, it has been going on quite a bit. Oh god. No, Mr. Shopkeeper. No. No. Oh. So, where was I? Yeah, so I don't want to give any kind of for sure schedule because I don't really know if I can have a for sure schedule at the moment. Excuse me. There is one thing that I am looking to as a possible, at least temporary new series, as well as a couple other things that I haven't touched on. You know, games I picked up that I haven't really played yet, stuff like that that I want to that I could jump into. All these things I'm going to work out over the next couple days. What am I looking for here? What is it that I am looking for? Can't believe he died there. That was a really stupid way to die. That should not have happened. Should not have happened. Why do I keep losing window focus? Because that is going to get me killed. Now I've lost audio on my headset. Oh, it's back. Oh, God, I lost where I was. Yeah, but I do want to switch things up a little bit. Again, I am still playing an absolutely absurd amount of Rebirth. On my, you know, gaming but not recording time, I have quite a bit more than my recording time. But I feel like there is an over inundation of people playing Rebirth. And I would like to play something a little bit less oversaturated. Because I know even from my perspective, who doesn't get to watch necessarily a whole lot of content and doesn't watch a whole lot of Rebirth content compared to other stuff, you know, it is kind of overwhelming how much there is out there. And I can't be the only one who feels that way. You know, if you watch a couple people play Isaac in a week, and in a day, are you really going to want to watch another person play Isaac as well? It's a, you know, it's a matter of playing what you want, but it's also a matter of, you know, is this really the best thing to be playing for the people who are watching, because are they really going to want to watch it? So, again, series are probably going to be changing up. There's also another thing that I am thinking of doing. I'm just not sure how I'm going to go about doing it if I do. And that is being someone who is very much interested in game design, who actually has the budding areas of a game design in their head, as well as a desire to make a specific game and do the level design for it as well. Something that I kind of want to do is to start a series that's looking specifically not into, you know, watch me play this game over and over again, or watch me play through this game, but is more along the lines of, let me look at this game that I've played, look at the world design, look at the level design, look at, you know, the overall game design, and kind of give my thoughts on what's done right, what's done wrong, what areas could use the most improvement, etc., etc. I think that could make for a fun series. I'm just not sure what kind of format I would need to do it in to make it work like I want it to. You know, would it be better to do a pre-scripted thing, take, you know, less videos a week, but put in some editing time, give, you know, a lot of very clear examples of what I'm talking about as I'm doing it? Would it be better to just play the game as if a Let's Play, but talk about these specific things throughout? That is something I need to work on. If you guys have any suggestions on that, let me know. I would be very glad to hear what you guys think would make a series like that most interesting, because I think that's something I could do relatively well at, that I think I would have a lot of fun with as well. Again, I'm just not sure the format that would be best served for it. If ad-libbing would work best, or scripted, edited or not edited, knowing that edited is also a lower amount of videos per week, because it is going to take me longer to, because it is going to take me a bunch of extra time to get all the footage together, as well as edit it together, than it would to just get the footage together. So, you know, give me your thoughts on what would be the best kind of format for that, because I think that's something I want to start doing. I think that's something that not very many channels do. I don't think I've seen very many channels, at least that I follow, that focus specifically on game design, world design, level design, etc. Just a design standpoint of the game. Most of them either focus on, you know, reviews, or on review style things where they're talking about, you know, what the game does right from an overall standpoint, what it does wrong from an overall standpoint. And it does sometimes overlap, but I'm talking about a very specific setup, and a very specific direction. You know, I'm not even saying if it's good or bad, just talking about, you know, what are things I like that are done in the level design, what would I like to see more of, what would I like to see less of. That's something I feel I could have a lot of fun with doing old games too. You know, Perfect Dark is an example of a game that, despite its style kind of falling out of vogue with Halo coming out not so long afterwards and kind of changing the entire FPS genre from what it had been, you know, there's a lot of stuff I think that game did right that a lot of games have not gotten as good since then, that I could talk about for ages. And that's the kind of thing that I want to do. Look at games, whether new or old, and just talk about, you know, what was interesting that they did in this game, what was, you know, not so interesting, what had a huge impact, what didn't, etc., etc. This is the kind of thing that I think I could have a lot of fun looking into, a lot of fun putting together for you guys, as soon as I figure out exactly how I want to do it. That being said, again, if I do anything edited, that's going to be more like a video, maybe if I'm lucky, 2 a week, as a whole. Whereas if I do kind of more of an ad-lib, just play the game and talk about these factors, that's going to be, you know, I'm going to probably still only have 1 or 2 of those a week, because, oh, there's a dead fish in there and I can't get out of the water. But, I mean, there's still only going to be, like, you know, a couple of those a week in specific, because that's something that's going to take some time to think about, something that's going to take some time to put together my thoughts on. But I would also be able to do more along the lines of the Let's Plays and such, alongside it if I did a off-the-cuff type content instead of a scripted, or even if not scripted, just video edited content. So, you know, something to think about. If you guys have any opinions on that idea, let me know. It's something I think I could be really excited for. And it might be a direction I want to push the channel in. To go along with the Let's Plays, or even eventually to replace them. Regardless, as for this video, I think this will probably be our last run. It is getting close to dinner time, and after dinner is sleep time. And then it is recording impossible time. So, yeah, I think this video will be coming to a close after this run. I'm hoping to have more out this week. I released the last video I recorded during my last stretch of recording just yesterday, or maybe it wasn't yesterday, depending on... That worked somehow. That somehow worked magically. Either I am a god among Spelunky players, or that was a complete accident. Hint hint, it was a complete accident. But I got that video out. I'm getting this one all together. I hate gambling shopkeepers. They're so hard to kill from outside. But yeah, for this week in general, I would say don't look for a full week's worth of videos. I don't know if I can pull that off. But look for at least a couple more. I think I can definitely get a couple more in before the end of the week. Judging from what I've experienced with work thus far, as well as, you know, working out times to possibly get a recording in that I wouldn't normally be able to record, stuff like that. I should be able to get at least a couple more out. I just don't know how many, and I don't want to say that it won't be a whole lot. No black market, I guess, but oh well. I don't want to say that it will be a full week's worth, but I don't want to say that it won't be, because I really don't know. That being said, you will be seeing more videos this week, and starting next week I think I can be back to a more normalized schedule, a more consistent schedule. And there are certainly things I'm looking into that would very much benefit from being able to do that. There's actually, I have no idea if I will be able to do so, but there is a game called Darkest Dungeon, which is doing an event for their early access launch called the Week of Torment. I have put my name in to try to get into that. I think it would be cool to do a series of videos on that, see how it is. I know next to nothing about the game. I just did a cursory glance over their website. It looked interesting, looked like something I could be into, and so I put my name in to see if I can get into it. Regardless if I do or not, that could be coming up. If not, again, there are a variety of games in my Steam library which I have barely, if at all, touched that I might jump into, as well as some older games I might consider playing through just because I haven't played them in a long time. There are a lot of options going forward, as well as Isaac isn't going away entirely. I just don't want it to be an everyday thing. That being said, thank you guys for tuning in. I apologize for the low amount of videos the past couple weeks. This new schedule is really taking a lot more adjustment than I thought it would. and the holidays just kind of compounded everything. But back to normal now. No AGDQ this weekend to distract me, and I think that things will be back to normal around here. Finally, it has been a long time, a lot of stuff getting in the way. Finally, I think we will be back to normal. Those of you who stuck around through all this crappiness, thank you. I very much appreciate it. It's nice to know that people watch these, and the fact that when I have a bunch of scheduling conflicts and a lot of difficulty getting content out, you guys still come back and watch when I do, is very much appreciated. So for now, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care everyone, have a good one, see you next time.